My name is Kayla Rhodes. I'm 30 years old, and this is how I took revenge on everyone who laughed when I said I'd travel the world. It started at a family barbecue in the sticky heat of a Georgia summer, just outside Atlanta. I was 24, unemployed, and standing in a plastic chair circle with a red Solo cup in hand, trying to find the right way to say, I'm leaving. Not for another job. Not for a guy. Not for grad school. I was leaving the country to backpack across Southeast Asia. Alone. The words barely left my mouth before the silence swallowed them whole. For a second, no one said anything. I thought maybe they hadn't heard me. Then my Uncle Ronnie let out a sharp laugh, like I'd just told the world's dumbest joke. My cousin Corey literally choked on his beer and had to be patted on the back. My sister, Mariah, rolled her eyes so hard I'm surprised they didn't get stuck. You can't even afford rent, Kayla, she said, like that settled it. What are you gonna do? Blog. Uncle Ronnie chuckled, shaking his head. You'll be back in a month, someone else muttered, probably crying. It didn't matter that I'd been saving every spare dollar, that I'd already sold my furniture, canceled my lease, researched hostels, vaccines, visas. None of it mattered. All they could see was a broke black girl with no job, no real plan, and way too many dreams. They laughed like I was delusional. And maybe I was. I had just gotten fired from a miserable bank job I hated, had exactly $3, $400 in my savings account, and zero idea what I was doing. But what I did have was a quiet, stubborn fire in my gut, the kind that doesn't scream, just simmers. That moment, standing there, humiliated, their laughter ringing in my ears, cut deep, deeper than I let on. I smiled that night. I said, y'all will see. Then I helped clear the paper plates, hugged my mama, and drove home with my windows down so no one would hear me crying. But on the way back, I made a promise to myself. If I ever make it, they'll all see I grew up in a Southern family where success was a checklist. Go to college, get a steady job, marry someone respectable, buy a house with a lawn and a mortgage, then smile like you meant it. We were middle class, church on Sundays. Keep your head down, people. Not in a cruel way, just safe. My parents worked hard and wanted the same for me. Security, stability, a life with no surprises. But even as a kid, I knew I was different. While my cousins played house or planned their dream weddings, I was writing poems in spiral notebooks and collecting postcards from bookstores. I'd never traveled far enough to reach. I used to quiz myself on world capitals for fun. I didn't want to be someone's wife or someone's banker. I wanted to be someone who went places, but I stuffed it down. I wanted to be good, so I studied business. I wore blouses that itched. I said yes ma'am and yes sir, and wore heels even though they made my feet scream. I got a job at a regional bank and dated a guy my parents loved. Stable, boring, polite. I smiled at cookouts. I said things like, someday I'll travel, and every time I said it, I felt something inside me shrink. Then came the week. Everything cracked open. I got laid off on a Monday. Downsizing, they said, like that made it hurt less. By Friday, my boyfriend sat across from me at a Waffle House and told me, over lukewarm coffee, that I wasn't focused enough on the future. Translation: I wasn't who he wanted me to be anymore. He didn't even finish his hash browns. I went home that night and stared at my beige couch, my rent bill, my silent phone, And something in me snapped, not in a messy way, in a final way. The version of me who tried to fit in, who played by everyone else's rules, quietly packed her things and left. The dreamer I buried long ago came back, and she was furious that I ever tried to kill her. So I sold that couch, canceled the lease. With $1,200 in my bank account, a beat-up Canon camera I hadn't used in years, and no real plan, I bought a one-way ticket to Thailand. I told myself I'd figure it out when I landed. That was the first promise I made that actually felt like mine. Only one person supported me. Maya, my old college roommate turned LA screenwriter, who had always called me a bird stuck in a cage too small. When I told her about the ticket, she screamed into the phone, "You're meant for more, Kayla. Go get it." Everyone else laughed, or worse, disappeared. My co-workers sent passive-aggressive texts. Must be nice to take a little vacation. My best friend from high school ghosted me completely. And my family, they said things like, "So you're just giving up. What about your credit score? You're going to die alone in a hostel." They thought I was running away from failure. But they were wrong. I was finally running toward freedom. The first few weeks abroad were messy, magical chaos. I was in Chiang Mai, Thailand, sweating through linen pants and fumbling through Google Translate, trying to order iced coffee without accidentally asking for fish sauce. My hostel bunk creaked every time I moved. I got scammed by a tuk-tuk driver my first night. I burned my mouth on street food more than once, and I loved it. Every wrong turn, every awkward exchange. It was mine. No spreadsheet, no dress code, no one telling me I was being too much. I started posting about it all on Instagram. Nothing polished, nothing curated, just clumsy captions, blurry sunsets, shots of noodle bowls and temple rooftops. I was proud. I knew I wasn't a travel influencer. I didn't have ring lights or brand deals or matching outfits in Morocco. But I was documenting my version of freedom. And for a while, that felt like enough. Until I saw the message. I was lying on a hostel cot in Pai, scrolling through my DMs, when it came through, a screenshot, clearly meant for someone else, sent by my cousin Nikki. The group chat name hit me first. Group name, Kayla's Eat, Pray, Beg Tour I stared at it, blinked, opened the image. She thinks she's Elizabeth Gilbert. Probably got dumped and cracked. Wait till she's broken Bali. My blood went cold. These weren't strangers. These were my people. Cousins I'd shared Christmas dinners with. Friends I'd cried to during breakups. Women who had once braided my hair and cheered at my graduation. I had imagined them quietly doubting me, sure. But reading their mockery, their actual words, seeing that they found my courage funny, it hit harder than I thought it would. I put my phone down and stared at the wall. The fan buzzed above me. Outside, mopeds zipped through the alley then. As if the universe wanted to twist the knife, I got a notification. My ex, the one who dumped me over eggs and coffee, had reposted one of my Instagram photos. The one where I was standing barefoot in a rice field, smiling like I'd finally come home to myself. His caption, she always loved chasing things she couldn't afford. There it was. Proof that the people I thought I loved didn't just doubt me. They were waiting for me to fail. They weren't concerned. They weren't proud. They were entertained. My hands shook. My heart slammed against my chest like it wanted to escape. I could have shut down right there, bought a return ticket, disappeared. But something in me, something deeper than pride or spite, lit up like a flare. This wasn't a vacation anymore. This wasn't an escape. This was a mission. I wasn't just traveling. I was building my proof. Proof that you could start over with nothing. Proof that you could follow the wildest version of your dream and not crash and burn. Proof that their expectations were never the limits of my life. They wanted to laugh at me, fine. Let them. I was about to give them something to talk about. Kayla didn't stop. She couldn't. She crossed borders like she was shedding skins. Laos, Vietnam, Cambodia. Places she'd only seen in geography books were now her morning view. She slept in $8 a night hostels with bunk beds and cracked windows, washed her clothes in sinks, shared dorm bathrooms with 6 strangers, and ate $1 bowls of pho on plastic stools by the roadside. She taught English online from cafes with flickering Wi-Fi, sometimes whispering so she wouldn't wake the hostel roommate snoring beside her. And every night, she posted her feed evolved. No more overexposed sunsets or Pinterest perfect poses. Now it was real. Her photos were sharper, not just visually, but emotionally. Her captions were raw, unfiltered. She wrote about the time she got lost in Hanoi and cried in an alley, until a local grandmother gave her a ride on the back of her scooter. About being lonely in Luang Prabang on Christmas Day, watching couples take selfies under fairy lights. About the deep, terrifying freedom of waking up with no plan and no one waiting on her. She didn't fake FEARLESSNESS, but she shared her fear and her courage anyway. And slowly, people started listening. First, it was just the occasional comment, "You're brave." Then Ms. "You're living my dream. How did you do it? I wish I could be like you." Then women, strangers, started calling her inspiration. Kayla read every word, every emoji, every tearful thank you from a woman stuck in a cubicle, or a marriage, or a town that felt too small. And she realized, this asterisk was the plan. Not just to leave, but to lead. She launched a blog, just simple stories and travel tips. She added a free email newsletter, the layover letter. Then she wrote a $20 a book called Your First Solo Flight a guide for anyone who wanted to do what she did, minus the crash landings. At first, it felt like play. Then someone bought the book from Belgium, then Singapore, then New Jersey. Her old life still mocked her. Her hometown people stayed quiet, kept watching in silence. But strangers were paying her to show them how to escape the life she'd once been shamed for leaving. Back home, crickets, no cousin texts, no "hey, proud of you." Until one day, her sister messaged her for the first time in months. So are you like a travel agent now? Or just pretending on Instagram? It hit her like a slap she didn't want to admit hurt. The sting wasn't just the insult. It was the implication that success, to them, still only counted if it came with a title they could understand. But Kayla wasn't in the mood to justify herself anymore. She smiled, put her phone down, and filmed another reel. A week later, her travel hack, the one about how to find cheap last-minute flights using VPNs and obscure booking sites, went viral. But not on her account, the bigger influencer. Someone with perfect makeup and 1 million followers had posted nearly the exact same script, visuals, even the same captions, minus the credit. her ideas, her language, her work. But the comments were all, "Oh my God, genius. You're saving my trip." Kayla stared at the screen, heart thudding. She could feel the fury crawl up her spine. She had two choices: rage publicly or rise strategically. She chose the latter. She didn't complain. She scaled more reels, daily stories, free 15-minute travel webinars that turned into paid masterclasses, a new newsletter called Unpacked focused entirely on solo travel for women. She started offering one-on-one consults for $99 an hour, and they booked out. By month 3, she hit her first $10,000 from a jungle hut in Kampot with a fan spinning above her head, no air conditioning, and monkeys howling in the distance. She looked at her striped dashboard and laughed out loud. $10,000 from the same Wi-Fi they all said wasn't a real job. Her revenge wasn't petty, it was profitable. 3 years later, Kayla flew home, not because she missed the place, but because she was ready to return on her own terms. She landed at the same small southern airport where people used to whisper about how she'd lost her mind. Only this time, she stepped off the plane in designer sandals, linen pants, and a silk scarf tied effortlessly in her hair. No makeup, no entourage, just presence. And presence, she learned, was louder than anything she could wear. She picked up the keys to her rental, a matte black Range Rover she'd booked just for the symbolism, and drove the winding roads back to the neighborhood where her old self once felt trapped. The barbecue was just like she remembered it. Red Solo cups, folding chairs, paper plates, people who hadn't changed since high school. But this time, she didn't shrink. She didn't apologize. She parked the Range Rover like a punctuation mark and walked in like she belonged. Because now, she knew she did at first. No one recognized her. She was tan, lean, confident. She moved differently, spoke differently, smiled like she knew something they didn't. Then someone gasped, a cousin maybe, and whispered loud enough for Kayla to hear, "Is that Kayla?" And suddenly, they all turned. Some stared, some smiled awkwardly, some tried to play it cool, like they hadn't ever ghosted her, mocked her, doubted her, or forwarded memes behind her back. But Kayla had trained for this moment. She didn't flinch. She just made a plate of food, laughed with whoever said hello, and when someone asked her what she was up to these days, she smiled and said, "Just building a life I don't need to vacation from." Then came the kicker. Her cousin, cousin, the one who'd sent the group chat calling her trip the eat, pray, beg tour, pulled her aside by the drinks table. He was nervous, sweaty, a little too smiley. "So hey," he began, rubbing the back of his neck. "I was wondering if you could maybe help my girlfriend. She's trying to, grow her Instagram, be more of an influencer type, you know?" Kayla stared at him, not in anger, just with the calm power of a woman who'd outgrown every insult he'd ever whispered. "Interesting," she said. "Does she also plan to backpack through Vietnam and teach English in the rain for $12 an hour first? Or just skip to the brand deals?" He laughed awkwardly. "Yeah, no, she's more like the lifestyle vibe." "Ah, got it," Kayla said, sipping her sparkling water. "Tell her to subscribe to my course." Then her ex approached, the *X*, the one who said she chased things she couldn't afford, the one who'd reposted her photo to mock her. "Hey," he said, trying to sound casual. "You look amazing. I've been keeping up, kinda." Wild journey, huh? Kayla smiled. It's been good. He hesitated. Wanna grab coffee sometime? Just to catch up. She tilted her head. Oh, no thanks. I'm actually off caffeine. And walked away. But the moment that sealed it, the moment that made her entire chest fill with quiet triumph, was her sister. The one who once asked if she was pretending on Instagram. Now, standing in front of her with a tight smile, she said, "It's cool how you've made a little business out of whatever this is." Kayla didn't roll her eyes. She didn't argue. She didn't explain. She just pulled out her phone, opened Instagram, and tapped Go Live. The screen lit up. Notifications pinged. Comments started rolling in from followers around the world. "She's back. Oh my God, Queen, where are you?" Kayla turned the camera toward herself, smile soft but sharp. "Hey guys, quick update. Remember when everyone told me not to travel? That it was a phase, a breakdown? That I was being irresponsible? Well, I'm here with some of them right now." Behind her, faces stiffened. Cups froze mid-sip. No one said a word. But she didn't drag anyone. She didn't name names. She just smiled into the lens, glowing with something no ring light could fake: grace, power, proof. Just wanted to say, whatever dream you're sitting on, go chase it. Even if nobody claps, one day they might ask how you did it. She ended the live with a wink, and by the next morning, the video had 2.7 million views. Thousands of comments flooded in. "Say sorry to her right now. She's literally the blueprint. I needed this more than you'll ever know." And the best part? Kayla didn't need anyone to clap. She was the applause. Back in Bali, Kayla lies in a hammock strung between two palm trees, a journal resting on her chest, the sun warm on her legs. From her perch, she watches the wind ripple through the rice fields like green silk. Birds chatter in the distance. A gecko clicks from the wooden beam above her, and the hum of distant scooters blends with the rustle of leaves. It's quiet here, but not empty. She flips open her journal, its pages dog-eared and smudged with ink from years of trial and travel. Today, she writes not to escape, but to remember. She writes about the mornings in Cambodia when she wanted to give up, the nights in Laos when she cried herself to sleep in shared dorms, the loneliness of building something no one believed in. How easy it would have been to quit, to fold, to come home and say, "You were right, it was just a phase." But she did in single quotes T, and now, sitting here, surrounded by the life she built from nothing but stubborn faith, she realizes something surprising. She doesn't care about proving them wrong anymore. She cares about proving herself right. The girl who bought a one-way ticket and cried in the airplane bathroom because she thought she'd made a mistake. That girl was the bravest person she's ever known. She honors her every day by not giving up. Her business now runs itself. Her digital course funds scholarships for women of color to see the world without waiting for permission. She hosts retreats in Thailand, Costa Rica, Morocco, safe spaces for women who were once told, like her, that adventure wasn't for people like them. She answers DMs late at night from strangers who write, "You changed my life. I just booked my first solo trip." Or, "My mom said I was crazy, but then I showed her you." And sometimes, when she checks her analytics, she sees familiar names in her follower list. Old classmates, cousins, even her sister. She doesn't block them. She lets them watch. Because the most powerful kind of revenge is the quiet kind. The kind where you don't clap back, don't fight, Don't even mention them. You just keep building, keep glowing, keep going. Kayla smiles, closes her journal, and lets the sun warm her face. She didn't win by being louder, she won by going further than they ever imagined. They laughed when I said I'd travel the world. Said it with smirks and side eyes, wrapped in sarcasm and group chats I was never meant to see. I was the punchline, the girl who cracked after a breakup and ran off to find herself, with nothing but a backpack and bad Wi-Fi. And for a while, I let them win. I swallowed my dreams, second-guessed every decision, made myself small, so their comfort wouldn't be disturbed. But I kept going. One border turned into 10. One blurry sunset turned into a gallery. One blog post turned into a business. I've watched the sun rise over the Bosphorus in Istanbul, swam in the sacred sea notes of Mexico, got lost in Tokyo, and cried beneath cherry blossoms so beautiful they felt like a rebirth. Now, I wake up in places I used to pin on vision boards. I book flights with affiliate money. I teach women how to chase freedom the way I once only fantasized about. And every time someone hits follow, every time a girl DMs me, "You made me believe I could," I remember that laugh. I remember exactly who I was when they thought I was a joke. She's not laughing now. She's leading. And the people who mocked me, they're still in the same place. Only now, they follow *me*. My name is Kayla Rhodes. I'm 30 years old, and I turned their joke into my freedom. Fade out.